Ladies and gentlemen, so we are going to premise today's conversation on this write-up about the situation in Venezuela. Now, unless you are living under a rock, you go know what happened in Venezuela. Now, the US woke up and they were like, forget about territorial integrity, forget about the UN Charter, forget about sovereignty, forget about international relations, forget about diplomacy. We dey enter Venezuela, we dey go host and capture a democratically elected president. We dey go capture him, then carry him come on a country, come process him, make he face the full rigors of the law. It be weird to me because the small government that I studied in high school, they taught us sovereignty, and that is not how it works. The sovereignty where them teach we, the territorial integrity of a country, of a sovereign country, that we were taught, the international relations that we were taught, the UN Charter that we read about, the cultural government exams, that is not what is happening here. So I'm a bit confused. You understand? So that is the conversation we come have today on this episode of Yawa of the Day. Of course, my name is Sheldon. The head is big for a reason. I could be so, but regardless, the news, the breakdown, the bro. You know how we do it. New year, new vibes, and a lot of things. So let me read this thing to you. Then we go advance the conversation because different countries have put out statement. Of course, I come from one country, which is Ghana. We are going to focus on that. Then we go advance the conversation, transition to the AU putting out a statement. I have a personal issue with that statement and what the structure AU, like AU Nangasa, I have a problem. So we will discuss that. We will enter into that. But let me read this in and let's continue the story. President Donald J. Trump announced Saturday that the US will run Venezuela after capturing President Nicolas Maduro and his wife in a large-scale military operation. A stunning development that plunged the country into uncertainty after weeks of spiraling tensions. And so President Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social. Say the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. And so he put out this statement on Truth Social. Now, President Donald Trump later said the U.S. would play a central role in running the country indefinitely until a formal transition of power can take place, while declining to rule out the possibility of longer-term military involvement in Venezuela. So as we talk here, ladies and gentlemen, the president of Venezuela is in the United States. Based on the information available, they say they will process him before a court, like he will appear before a court and all those things. I thought Hague was supposed to do some of these things. The International Court of Justice, which is located in The Hague. They are supposed to try these people. I don't understand what is happening. So all that we studied, they have to revise it now because the path that the US is on, no, bro, they have to revise the syllabus. International relations, thrown away. Sovereignty, thrown away. UN Charter, thrown away because of the actions and inactions of just one country, ladies and gentlemen. So that's where we did right now. So yes, and the US, they made a spectacle out of the situation. Now, the official White House account on Twitter, when I saw the things that they were posting, I was like, hey, is it a parody account? Because meme culture, right? They are so in tune with pop culture that they put out some things. They put out a design with the picture of the president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, and they had this inscription on it: "Fafu, fuck around and find out." You would think that is not a tweet that is supposed to come from the official White House account, right? That is not the only thing, no. They actually made an edit. Now there is this video where Nicolas Maduro was daring Donald Trump to come and get him. And they made an edit out of it. And, your man was walking out like, bro, you said we should come and get you now. We have you.
Aquí no esperan Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
And now, if you don't know, now you know.
You understand? And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is the situation right now. And yes, so the president of Venezuela and the wife, they are in the United States of America. I don't know what the wife did though. Aiding and abetting? What the hell is happening in this world, bro? Anyway, So different countries, various countries, they've put out statement. Of course, this particular incident, this particular situation, people are divided over it. There are some Venezuelans, there are some Americans that are against the actions of the United States entering a sovereign country to capture a certain president. And there are people that are saying he's a dictator, he's this and this and that, so we support this. Of course, I mean, there was a video I saw where, you know, Venezuelans living in, Argentina, they took to the street to jubilate about the situation. Like what is happening, what the United States of America, they've done with the president of Venezuela, right? So people are divided over this, over this particular situation. There are countries that are for, like the US going to invade a sovereign country, and there are some countries that are also saying that no, the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and all those things, all these things, they go against them. So what is happening? And so every country is free to put out a statement, of course, as to whether the US people them will take them or not. That one day, yeah. Because you go fit issue a statement, you no go even track to go there your country inside. So Ghana, we've issued a statement through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is headed by Minister Samuel Kwadwo Ablakwa, and Ghanaians are divided over this particular statement that was put out by Minister Samuel Kwadwo Ablakwa. People are advocating for us to mind our business. Of course, the Atamels's international relations strategy. And there are some people saying that we have become the giant of Africa because Nigerians are not doing the job. And as for Nigerians, I'll get to them, because what their president is doing to them, I do understand why some of them come to this country, or some of them are on Twitter singing the praises of President John Dramani Mahama. I do understand, because really, there is a statement, a New Year statement that was read by the president of Nigeria, and in the statement your man was saying some things, but that is not why we are here. So ladies and gentlemen, let me read a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then we go digest it, then we go enter the AU people them own. Them, I have a personal issue with them. The government of the Republic of Ghana is alarmed at the unilateral and unauthorized invasion of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. I never knew they had the Bolivarian thing attached to their name. Hey, Okudizi, Okujatotizi, bro. Forget, bro. This diplomacy thing, forget. Okuja to the whole world, bro. Kwame Nkrumah is giving him fans in his grave, bro. Boom, the government of the Republic of Ghana is alarmed at the unilateral and unauthorized invasion of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela by the United States of America, and the subsequent abduction of the President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores in the early hours of Saturday, 3rd January 2026. Now, Ghana expresses strong reservations against unilateral use of force and strongly deplores such acts that violate the Charter of the United Nations and international law, as well as sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political independence of state. The Ghanaian government is keenly following the situation in Venezuela with great concerns, and note that such assault on international law, attempt at occupation of foreign territories, and apparent external control of oil resources have extremely adverse implications on international stability and global order. Ghana also notes with deep concerns statement by US President Donald Trump that the US will run Venezuela until such time, and they are quoting what the President of the United States of America said, until such time as we can do safe, proper, and judicious transitions. And the US large oil companies will be asked to go in. These declarations are reminiscent of colonial and imperial era. They set dangerous precedent for the global order. Such colonial ambitions should have no place in the post-Second World War era. To allow this is to put international community to great risk and undermine the sovereignty of every country. Ghana therefore reaffirms the commitment to the principle of self-determination and holds firm the view that the Venezuelan people should freely determine their political and democratic future. Ghana calls for immediate de-escalation and the release of the president of Venezuela, President Maduro, and the wife. Yes, Ghana calls for the immediate de-escalation and the release of President Maduro and his wife. Once again, Ghana calls for the immediate de-escalation and the release of the President Maduro and his wife. It be like this be the part where Ghanaians read and go like, hey, and also what? What exactly is Ghana going to do? Yeah, it's about be on mechanic. But I feel like more Ghanaians know they understand what international relations and diplomacy is about, because this statement, Ghana is a sovereign country. So of course, they see what is happening to another sovereign country and they be like, because if they have done it to Venezuela, Ghana, they go press me like this. So a statement like this is part of the international diplomacy conversation, international relations, like, global conversations, right? So I do understand where Minister Okuyeto is coming from. And this is the position of the Ghanaian government. This is not the position of Minister Okuyeto Ablakwa. It means the president has endorsed this particular statement or this press release. So Ghana calls for the immediate de-escalation and the release of President Maduro and his wife. The government of Ghana shall maintain and defend the long-held principled position against invasion, occupation, colonialism, apartheid, disregard for sovereignty, and all forms of violation of international law. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the statement that was put out by Minister Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa. Yes, it be some hard thing. Like, Ghana is basically saying what the US did to Venezuela, they know they understand, because it goes against everything, like territorial integrity, sovereignty, and all those things. It goes against it. So, like, no, they are calling for de-escalation of the situation, and they are calling for what? The release of the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. But that part where me I get issue, like, so if they know de-escalate and release the president and his wife, what is Ghana going to do? And that is like the position of a lot of Ghanaians. That is the question a lot of Ghanaians or many Ghanaians are asking. What exactly are we going to do? Are we going to reject the aids or the grants that they give to us? What exactly are we going to do? It's like Obinsa Shewanum now born a pom. We cannot do anything. We were here when they threatened us with visa, issues and things, and we went. Well, I don't know what we did, but we had to go and do lala for them to see inside for us. What exactly can we do? If we are really not about the imperialism and the colonialism and all those things, maybe we should be truly independent by depending on our resources, by rejecting aids from them, by rejecting grants from them. When our hands are not in their mouth, we go to hit them ahead. But if your hand is in their mouth and go to hit them ahead, it will inclusive shame, bro. This statement probably no go cross Togo border. That is the position of like many Ghanaians. And that is why they are calling for us to chop our house matter. When you do, I know I'm going to use the sentiment analysis in comment sections of places where this particular press release has been posted. You could see in the comment section, Ghanaians are not like, vibing with that. Like, bro, it's about you. This don't concern us. But however you want to spin the story, it concern you one way or the other. Because if it has happened to Venezuela, you could be next. And people have also people are cooking up like stories, right? I think there is this series on Amazon Prime, right? Jack Ryan. There is an episode and a scene. They basically painted the picture of what was going to happen in Venezuela. So people are premising the conversation on the fact that Venezuela, they have a lot of natural resources. They have the gold, they have the oil. And the Americans have seen it, and they are trying to use the infringement on human rights, and they are trying to enter their country and things. So that is the kind of conversation that is out there. You understand? But the Ghana conversation is, the reason why people are divided over it is, bro, what exactly are we going to do in this situation? I'm asking, like, I'm being honest. Let's be honest. What are we going to do? So we can put out flamboyant, press releases like this. What is the weight? What is the gravitas of the state? If we are truly independent, we will get rid of all the aids and the grants. So when we make statements like that, we have arrived. But you, Charlie, you will come put out today and tomorrow, you will go back for visa extension. So, Charlie, and so, as I was saying, Ghanaians are divided over this. Some are saying that we should use the Atameose strategy, right? You need a fear 17. And of course, I've curated some of the comments here. I'm going to read it so that we will go through them. Then after that, we will talk about the AU people. And this is, there are other countries, like other, Twitter users who are on Twitter, who are from different African countries, praising the Minister for Foreign Affairs for putting out a statement like this. You understand? So once again, that is the situation. So this is the right thing to do. Resisting imperialism and neo-colonialism wherever it is. Just as Nkrumah envisioned the great nation to do. Then we have the cowards in the comment section who are willing to bow just because it is the US. It could have been Ghana. We aren't immune, okay? Yes, okay. So this one said, what is Ghana going to do? Impose sanctions? That is my question. What exactly are we going to do? Impose sanctions on the US? Oh, please. So this one is making a mockery of the situation. So let me read it to you. So the US of Africa has spoken. We are giving the US 3 days to leave Venezuela. If the US doesn't leave, we will give another 3 days to leave. We are giving the US 3 days to leave Venezuela. If they don't leave, we'll give them another 3 days. If they don't leave, we'll give them another 4 days. Bro, we can't do anything in this situation. And you know it, bro. Forget about the imperialism and neo-colonialism arguments, bro. What exactly is Ghana going to do? Oh, please. And then I say, hey, Ghana, it is not everything you enter, I beg. Then I say, we beg you, pa. We beg. Ghana is an incredibly valuable African country, of course. So this one is from David Hundein. He say, just putting it out there that if and when war comes to West Africa, Ghana won't need to call me out for military duty because I would have already volunteered. The only country in ECOWAS which is worth my blood. So David Hundein is saying that when there is war, I will not even wait for Ghanaians to call me. I will come and join them because they are the only worthy ECOWAS country to fight for, to die for. And this one is from Latif. I say small nyash they shake. Or say somebody says small nyash they shake. Oh. This one is Latif. Be you now you talk. Nobody has said anything. You now you talk. But yes, small nyash they shake. Oh. We are calling for de-escalation. Okay, no problem. No problem. I don't know what the purpose of this. Honestly, I also don't know the purpose of this. Because you and I know. Even the person that issued the statement know this statement is not going anywhere. Trump has taken his decision. What? Oh, come on. Sometimes Pan-African the reality. Now UN, they have gone against the UN Charter. What makes you think a statement like this? You are calling for de-escalation. De-escalation, bro. And there are some people saying Ghanaians should start building nuclear weapons and things. That is the only threat the US people they respond to. But we do not even know. We cannot power our people. We have deplorable hospitals and roads and things. The basic necessities of life, we don't have it to even go and allocate resources to what? Build nuclear weapons. Also, in a country where cost of projects are announced and people go like berserk and they are like angry and things. Imagine when parliament they go through parliament and they drop the budget, the cost involved in what? Constructing a nuclear machinery. Imagine what Ghanaians will do. Bro, we are not ready. So this one is saying, I don't know what the purpose of this. Honestly, I don't know the purpose of this press release. What exactly are we going to do? So ladies and gentlemen, that is that is the statement, the press release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana. Of course, I mean, you cannot prevent them from putting out a statement. Now let's go to the monstrous bureaucratic machinery called AU, African Union, AU. They put out a statement and I've been trying to understand, see, the AU, they vex me, the African Union is following with grave concern the recent development in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, including reports of abduction of the President of the Republic, Mr. Nicolas Maduro, and military attacks on Venezuelan institutions. The African Union reaffirms its steadfast commitment to the fundamental principles of international law, including respect for the sovereignty of states, their territorial integrity, and the right of the peoples to self-determination as enshrined in the Charter of the United Nations. The African Union underscores the importance of dialogue, peaceful settlement of dispute, and respect for constitutional and institutional frameworks in the spirit of good neighborliness, cooperation, and peaceful coexistence among nations. The African Union emphasizes the complex internal challenges facing Venezuela and can only be sustainably addressed through inclusive political dialogue among Venezuelans themselves. The African Union expresses its solidarity with the Venezuelan people and reiterates its commitment to the promotion of peace, stability, and mutual respect among nations and regions. The African Union calls upon all parties concerned to exercise restraint, responsibility, and respect for international law to prevent any escalation and to preserve regional peace and stability. You see, the AU as a machinery, I have actually advocated for the closure of AU. They are useless, bro. It is just a monstrous bureaucratic machinery. Toothless bulldog. They add nothing. They do nothing. Today, people get voice. You are observing. Today, the AU is observing what is happening in Venezuela. What about Sudan? What about Congo? What about Nigeria? What about what is happening on the continent? What is the purpose of the AU? Today, people are observing what is happening on another continent. Please, let's be serious. Today, you want to issue statement. Do you not know what is happening in Sudan? Do you not know what is happening in Somalia? Do you not know what is happening in various African countries? Not a single statement. But today you have a voice. You want to come and do church talk about the African Union is observing. You observe what? What exactly are you observing? This thing they concern you. It concern you. And the international people here no things they happen. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. Congo nakoshe. What have you done for your people that you want? See, do not angry me. Do not annoy me. Like, I saw the statement, I was like, and bro, I'm not the only one even cooking them. When you go to their comment section, whoever is their social media manager, I'm sure right now he's crying. Because he has seen things in the comment section, or she has seen things in the quoted reply. You think we be idiots? African Union. Today you want to come and comment on what is happening in Venezuela. Congo koshe. You couldn't confront to say house flies. People are being killed like house flies. You not go issue statement. You not go do anything. Toothless bulldog, bro. How about you catch them and say you are observing? Observing what? What is your observation going to do? What exactly is the observation of the African Union going to do? What can you do? When you combine your powers and everything, what exactly can you do in the Venezuela situation? Channel your anger and your resources to what? Making sure that the African countries going through some of these turmoils, it is like, mitigated. If you cannot do anything about it, this statement is useless, bro. It is not going anywhere, bro. And you do not have the moral grounds to even issue a statement like this, bro. Close down the AU, bro. They don't add any value to our lives. Echo was another one. What are we doing? I don't Venezuela assembly. Me say, shall we for chop on a house matter? I don't know why we don't want chop on a house matter. It's very simple. What Donald Trump decided to do with America and Venezuela is their business. Forget about international relations. You don't come out to the law for your eye top. You don't go come out somebody you won't give. Can't put out statement. Hey. Charlie, let's be serious in this. Let's be serious on this continent. What have you done for your people? Cause Sudan, go Sudan then go see. Do they not see territorial integrity? Sudan not get territorial integrity. Nigeria not get territorial integrity. Are people not being attacked in various African countries? What have we done for them? You are concerned about attacks in another country. You see, Africa there, I don't know, bro. You think this is what Kwame Nkrumah fought for? Think about yourself. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this situation? Let me know. My name is Sheldon. The head is big for a reason. This video is brought to you by Check. Yes, Check City. Open Check. Diamond rural uzigizagama. You go figure town from Check City. The information on how to locate them, how to call them is available on the L banner being displayed on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Check, papa, for the whole Accra. So check new rural one. That be the normal when they were doing the grand launching. See, bro. Hey, check city. Me Tom Sama sorry you. Compare fried rice, ni be dinner chicken, ni be not drain on one the territorial integrity. What then I'll be to from this side of the world? What exactly can you do? What then I'll be to Please.